How to do 3i1 redirection using cPanel. In this video session, I'm going to show you two different ways to use cPanel to add 3i1 redirection for Apache servers. Before I do, let me emphasize the importance of using 3i1 correctly. The only time you would use 3i1 is if you've made major changes on your site. That means you changed the URL patterns, or you are sure as to the old URL has completely moved identically to the new URL. If that's the case, that's the perfect example of using 3i1. Because what you're basically saying is the old URL and the content within it can be found on a new URL. Now that content doesn't need to be exactly the same, but it would help if it is exactly the same. But if it's similar content, you can still use 3i1 redirection. Now, if the content on both URLs have nothing to do with each other, then you don't need to use 3i1 redirection, okay? So let's go and see how we can do that using our cPanel. When you're logged into your cPanel account, the user interface will give you an option for redirects. All you need to do is simply click on that link. Then you would place the old URL, whatever the URL name is, here, and then simply redirect to the new URL address. Also, in cPanel redirects menu options, you have various different ways to redirect. By default, it says redirect with or without www. And unless you are absolutely sure as to what's going on here, you should leave things at default. And then you simply press add. So that's one way to use cPanel to add 3i1 redirection rules. The second option is you locate File Manager and press on that link. When you do, you have a file called htaccess file. That's a .file. That means it may be hidden when you visit your file manager on your website. You can press on Settings and make sure you have Show Hidden Files checked. Then all you need to do is right click on htaccess file and press Edit. And then this is the pattern to add 3i1 redirection for Apache-based servers. If you're using a different server setup, then you will need to read through the help section. But as you can see, this rewrite rule basically says the old URL, whatever the name is, the old URL, should redirect to the new URL path using 3i1 redirection. And the handler L means this is the last rule to process for rewrite rule. And that is how easy it is for you to add 3i1 redirection using cPanel.